How you doing? This is Gary Bledsoe from whoisgarybledsoe.com, and I want to ask you, what is the one thing that you must be in order to be a successful entrepreneur? Stay tuned. The one thing that you must be in order to be a successful entrepreneur, a successful businessman, a successful businesswoman, you have to be crazy. I mean, literally crazy. I was inspired by a blog I read today by a man named Ray Higdon. I mean, this blog really, jumped out to me. And usually he has video blogs, but this was a text blog. And I'm not really, I guess I might have ADHD or whatever. I don't know. I don't really read through a lot of text. I'm mostly a video watching type of person. But I just was compelled to read this blog. And the part that really jumped out at me was the part when he was talking about how you got to be crazy. And then I started thinking a lot about it, and I ran into a person, an ex co-worker of mine, and we were just talking, and then all of a sudden I just thought about, he was asking me about my business and what I do and the things that I do in my business, and that he knew someone else that was doing good in another company, and he don't know how, he don't think that he would be able to do things like that. And it made me think. And it made me think a lot about Ray Higdon's blog. It made me really think about it. That in order for you to really make it, in order for you to get there, you literally have to be crazy. Let me tell you why you have to be crazy. Because when you first get introduced to your network marketing company or whatever company you decide to build on your own, I'm so proud of my sister. She started her own company from scratch out there helping people, when you first start your first company, guess what happens? You're going to get ridiculed by your family sometime. The ones that are not going to understand. So that right there, that's you're experiencing some crazy stuff right there, because your emotions have to fight what your family is telling you that you shouldn't be doing. Then when you decided to branch out and say, you know what, I don't care, I fought what my family is saying, I'm ignoring it, I'm still going to go out there, I'm going to be successful, I'm hanging around motivated, positive people, I'm going to be successful, guess what's going to happen? You're going to go out there and you're going to speak to some friends. And these friends are going to do the same thing. They're going to say, no, you don't need to do that, you don't need to do this, no, it's not going to work, things usually don't work. I remember my cousin was doing it in 1969, things like that, and it didn't work for him. He had a whole bunch of boxes and a whole bunch of supplies in his garage, things like that. Then you have to fight with that emotion of all that craziness. Then what's going to happen is you're going to go to your job. And you're going to tell your people in your job, you know what, you're not your boss, you're not going to tell him this, but you're going to tell her that. You're going to definitely think this, that every time they tell you to do something you don't want to do, or every time they make you work when you don't want to work, or make you not be able to go to a doctor's appointment, you're going to get rolled up, things like that. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to have to deal with that craziness, and all that. And then there's going to be times if you decide to do it. I remember reading a book I actually read all his books by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I remember when he said that him and his wife was sleeping in a car because they didn't want it, and friends and family asked him, why don't you go get a job? And he said, no, I don't want a job. I want to be a successful businessman. And I remember people were looking at him like he was crazy. And that's what's going to happen to you with your coworkers. All that craziness is going to happen. And you're going to be dealing with craziness all the time. It's going to be times when you're going to have to if you decide not to get a job and do it like how my wife and I do it, just go full steam or working from home, getting out of our comfort zone, grinding every day. Guess what? It's going to be times when you're going to be worried about the bills. You're going to be worried about the mortgage. You're going to be worried about the rent. You're going to be worried about light and gas. You're going to be worried about food. You're going to be worried about how this is going to happen and that's going to happen. Then you're going to have to be on a churn and burn type of thing. And you're going to have to fight and grind it out and hustle it out. That's crazy. But you know what? I would never turn in all that craziness that an entrepreneur has to go through in order to have a comfortable, successful, prosperous life. I would never turn any of that away. I would go through it over and over and over. I remember a gentleman, one of my first mentors, named Jimmy Myers, in a company that making millions of dollars a year. And I remember this gentleman said, if someone was to ask me, would I go through what I went through again? Would I go through it? He said, without a shadow of a doubt, I would go through it hundreds of times in order to know that the life that I'm going to have is going to be 10 times, no, 100 times better than I pictured it. So his life is a million times better than he pictured it. Being able to do what you want, when you want, keeping your car at your driveway when everybody else is at work. And see, those people are, to me, the crazy ones. Those are the crazy ones, the ones that choose to be in a job. They choose to have somebody tell them when to go to lunch, even though they don't even know if they're hungry. They choose to have all that stuff. I believe that those are the people who are crazy. And the one that's going out there, going after their goals and dreams, going after what it is they want, those are not the crazy ones. Even though you're going to be perceived to be crazy. Then when you get to a level of success, there may be people in your company that's going to be coming down on you. Jealousy and hatred. You got to deal with that craziness. Guess what? Deal with that craziness. Go with that craziness. Because when you do arrive at your goals and dreams, when you're pulling up, and whatever car you're driving, motorcycle you're riding, or whatever pair of shoes you're walking in, sneakers, and you arrive at the door of the goals and dreams that you set out to achieve, guess what's going to happen? When you open that door, it's going to be 1,000 times better than you expected it to be. And you're going to sit back and you're going to turn out and look outside that door. When you're inside your goals and dreams, you're going to look outside that door and say, I'll go through that again if I had to. I'll go through this again if I have to. So do not be afraid. My message to you is, know that you're going to be viewed as being crazy. You're going to be viewed as being El Pollo Loco, whatever they call it. You're going to be viewed as being El Segundo. They're going to think you're crazy. They thought I was crazy. They thought, I bet they thought Ray Higgins was crazy. Robert Kiyosaki, Jimmy Myers were crazy. But guess what? When you do arrive at the door of your goals and dreams, ready to go inside, it's going to be 1,000 times better than you ever pitched it and ever pictured it. And guess what's going to happen? All the people who said you were crazy are going to wish they could come inside that door with you. I hope that helped you. If it brought value, please share it. If I can't say no more. I'm just so emotional over that blog. It would just hit me home, and then talking to my friend and seeing what they choose a life of being uncomfortable to be a life of being comfortable now to be uncomfortable later. I choose to be uncomfortable now to be comfortable later. So like I said, once again, I hope this brought you value. And if it does, please stop by my website, whoisgarybledsoe.com, and put your information in. I'll send you 4 more videos on how to increase your positive personal development. Thank you so much for watching this, and have a great day.